had a lot of kids that you're able to get to the next level here. What's special about this particular signing class for you?
They earned it through hard work. I think, in a day of NIL and, transfer portal, it's hard for high school players to get full scholarships, especially Division I. You have to be really exceptional at your craft and, number one, be able to sacrifice so you can gain something from it, and that's a full scholarship.
I know, one of the guys I want to talk about was Jahkeem, and it was just such an unusual path to kind of get to this early signing period for him. What's been, I guess, the most surprising thing, or just the great thing that you didn't know about when you decided to take him in here, even though he wasn't going to be able to play, but just be able to part of your program and part of this culture that you have here? What kind of surprised you about that?
I always knew he was a great player. I didn't know he was an even better person. And, I think it's been refreshing talking to him every day and talking through this process with him. It's been different, right? And you see this player and you have your perception of one thing, but then when you really get to meet him and really get to know him, the reality sets in like, man, this kid is a great kid. It was unfortunate what happened at his old school, but I thank Mr. McNeely, Dr. Washington, the CEO and the principal of this school, for fighting for our young youth and make sure that they gain everything out of what they put in. And what they put in it is everything.
What was that process like for him to be ready to go and start college in a month? How much of a challenge was that behind the scenes that maybe people didn't see?
It really wasn't challenging at all. He had already done the work. Once you do the work, that's stuff that he earned and he did on his own. I think for us it was, were we willing to reclassify? But I think if you've done the work and you put yourself in a position to where you've completed your work and done it the right way, then he deserved it. He earned it.
So he did a lot of the work before he even got here.
Yeah, that work wasn't there. The classes that he's in now is just his senior courses, and he busts his butt every day, because they're not gonna give it to you here. He got biology 2. He's doing English 4. He has to turn in a research paper on Friday. That stains with the expectation of any high school student, right? So he has those same expectations. Student first, athlete second.
He talked about having the opportunity to really ingratiate himself into the program, and even Corey Adams talked about how it wasn't a bad transition at all. What does it say about the locker room that they were able to take him in and be bonded with?
Well, I think it's easier when you're surrounded by players that's just like you, right? That are highly recruited and they know exactly what he was going through. And when you have the spotlight of social media and everybody's perception of you on you, I think when he came here, it was refreshing to see that, listen, there's no pressure. You just be yourself. And I think that's exactly what we got was him.
How unique was it that you get him over here, and how did the setup happen to get him in touch with Coach Henderson at USC?
It's crazy how things come full circle. He just got his jersey retired here last year in the spring, and now that he's going to be we have to pass the torch to him to make sure that Jahkeem is in the right spirits and the right mental space to where he's going to have success on and off the field, and we're confident that he's going to be able to do that being an Edna Karr graduate.
You've had great receivers come through this program, obviously, for years and years, and now 3 more that have grown up through this program the last couple of years, head off to in-state colleges. What has stood out about those 3 guys and what you've seen from them to develop to this point?
I think the way we throw it and the amount we throw it makes it a little bit easier because each of them get to touch the ball a lot. And I think it's been refreshing because they don't complain. They just come to work every day. After this ceremony, we're going straight to the practice field to get ready for a tough game against Baton Rouge Catholic, and I think they're up for the task.
What was that part like for you to be dealing with signing day during a semifinal week, which I hate personally, and I imagine you do too? How did you juggle some of that and just kind of approach
long hours? Long hours, especially when you're talking about the semifinals. We've been meeting since 7 o'clock in the morning, then we take a break, talk over signing day. Got to do decorations, got to do program, got to do seating arrangements, and then you have to focus on Catholic. But we kept it away from the players, so the players kept their regular regiment throughout the week. They still went to study hall, they still have weights, they still go to class, so it didn't really affect them. Today it would probably most affect them because in 30 minutes they have to reset and go back to practice.
Would you rather have the December signing period back 2 weeks like it used to be, or implement a summer thing, or whatever the case
I
is?
would rather it be after the state championship because now kids can focus on whatever their goals are and their tasks are. Then the benefit of putting your school and your team first is the reward of signing the scholarship after, right? I think it's out of order a little bit.
Brice, I was going to ask real quick, just the biggest challenge you've got with Catholic here, and kind of what the approach is on Friday.
You know, the multiple looks on defense and the multiple formations they present on offense. But like you say, you know, the coaches, they have to put the hours in, and then the kids have to buy into the plan. But the best thing, like I said again, was that we kept all the distraction of signing day away from them. You know, so it was all about, you know, Catholic, not signing day. It was more for the signees about making sure their parents on time and that kind of thing. But other than that, the same game plan procedure stayed with it.
We're previewing the matchup. I mean, what's something that stands out about Catholic and what you need to do to win yourself this Friday?
I think we got to throw it, and I think we got to stop them from having explosive plays. You know, throwing it is what we do. I think, you know, that's no secret, and I think for them we have to stop them from running the ball and creating explosive plays running RPO, and I think that's the key to the game.
We've seen John Johnson throw a lot this year. I mean, he was in the semis last year whenever that last play that ended it was an interception. But getting back to this stage, how much do you think he's really motivated to get y'all to the dome?
I think he's real motivated. You know, last year we lost with a little bad taste in our mouth, but I think this year team is different. Each team is different, but the expectations stay the same, right? But this day, in National Signing Day, represents a championship of its own. You know, this is bigger than a trophy at midfield. This is kids' lives that we're talking about developing and making sure they get a chance to continue playing ball. And I think that can't be overlooked or stated enough.
And one person who's really had the development that you talked about before he announced it, Teron Francis. I mean, you spoke about it already, but what does it mean to you, and what does it mean that you get to see him close during his college time as well?
I think it's been refreshing to see his development. You know, real proud of him. You know, I can't say that enough. You know, we're gonna miss him, but hopefully we can send him out with a bang on Friday.
Who is LSU getting with Teron? It seems like he just keeps improving. He keeps finding that next level, next level. That might be unlimited. But who is LSU getting with?
I think they're getting a player who can go much higher than what they already see, and that's because he's gonna make sure, because he's gonna be one of the hardest workers on the team. You know, we have to make sure that we keep in touch with him and make sure that he stays on the right track and help Ms. Jada through his development. And I think the sky's the limit for him.
With Jahkeem and the
Thank you, Brice.
Thank you.
Letterman jacket. Why the Letterman jacket?
That's the ultimate gift you can have from Edna Karr football, is that you're a lifer. And I'm proud to say that he's a lifer.